All right, welcome to Global Love Channel TV. My people, God have remembered the Biafrans. My people, if you are the type who are the lovers of freedom, my people, come and watch this very video. If you love Mazi Simon Ekpa, if you love Martin Nnamdi Kanu, if you love Biafra to come for reality, come and watch this video. If you really want this Biafra struggle to come for reality, and if you really believe in what Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing and what Martin Nnamdi Kanu is doing, and what whoever that is doing it for Biafra to come reality, my people, this video is for you. But if you are the type who always criticize and hate whoever that can make this Biafra to come to reality, you can use the next door, because this video, what you're about to watch, will keep your mind in astonishment, because God have remembered asking, and when will this Biafra come? Why the world is not recognizing Biafra? Come and watch this video. If you are the type who are confused about who is making wave concerning this Biafra struggle after the disappearance of our two leaders, which is Amara Pamazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they have been confusing and they have been deceiving you, my people, this video is for you. God have done it. Yes, let's gather the well meaningful Biafras. Let's watch this video, because what you're about to watch will keep you in shock. God have done it again, my people. Let's dive in and watch the video, because God's indeed a wonderful God. I'll be right back. Let's watch it.
Both at home and abroad voted, both online and physical, to exit the Nigerian state, which we did last year. Within this time frame, we have been trying to put everything in place, putting the right documents at the right places to ensure that the state of Nigeria leaves Biafra land peacefully. That is what we want. That is what the world wants. But if they refuse to do that, we will use every available means within the legal framework to remove them from our land. On the topic African rare minerals falling insecurity and eroding our independence, yes, Dr. Masanga, it is happening. How else did Nigeria fought this brutal war with Biafrans? It is purely because of the mineral resources in Biafra land. That was one of the reasons that fueled the war. Because Nigeria wants to continue to patronize the foreign countries that milk our crude oil and the mineral resources which comes from the Biafra land, while our people are left in abject poverty. Our lands are degraded and destroyed. There's no equal payment or fair payment for the minerals that are taken from our land. You have most Biafrans and most indigenous Nigerians traveling outside the country because of the criminality, because of the contract that is being executed between the Nigerian state and some of these foreign countries. Yes, this topic is right. And we, the Biafrans, the indigenous Nigerians, the Africans, are the only people that will stop this criminality. Nobody is going to do that for us. It takes a good guy with a gun to stop a bad guy with a gun. That is why we must start looking inwards with the right information, with the awareness. I strongly believe those that are partnering with the criminal leaders in Africa, they will start having a rethink of what they do, especially when those economic gains are being based on the blood of innocent indigenous Africans. You can fool some people sometime, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. As Africans are rising to know their rights, as Africans are rising to know that their leaders are the one destroying them, partnering with the foreign counterparts, they will begin to send the right messages. They will begin to ask the right questions, and they will start protecting that which is theirs. I strongly believe in that. That is why the United States of Biafra, we are going to stop the exploitation of the crude oil from Biafra land. We're already working on that. Whether it's Tinubu that is involved, whether it's any European country that is involved, We are going to stop it because nobody's going to do that for us. A good example is the current incarceration of the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, by Finland. It is because of the mineral resources. The Finnish government, the Nigerian government says that our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa is hindering economic gains between Finland and Nigeria. What is that economic gains? It is the minerals. So the Prime Minister of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, was the sacrificial lamb for this economic gain to pass through. So Nigeria already executed their own portion of that economic mineral gain by giving Finland the contract. They are now waiting for Finland to complete theirs by giving up and sacrificing Simon Ekpa. But we know the world is watching Finland government. Yes, African real minerals fuel insecurity. When we look at the transnational repression going on around some countries in the world today, what fuels that? It is the minerals, the gains. But should the gains be on the blood of innocent indigents? No. You can gain all the money in the world, but you will not have peace of mind because the way you acquire that wealth was wrong. The lives lost in acquiring that wealth was wrong. As we speak today, the Nigerian state continues to kill innocent indigenous Biafrans using the delegitimized Southeast and South-South governors in Nigeria who are fully aware that the United States of Biafra is an independent nation. They continue to kill them. Why? Because of the mineral, because of the crude oil. They don't want anyone that will question, why are you taking our mineral? Why our people are dying in squalor? Our people does not even have basic electricity. Our people does not have basic water. Not talking about healthcare, not talking about schools in northern part of Nigeria that have been locked up for months because of the terrorists that have been reintegrated into Nigeria by the Nigerian state. They bring them in, they give them guns, recruit them into the military and police, give them AK-47, ship them into Biafra land where those minerals, they sip it, they tap it from to go and guard those areas. That's what they do. But you know what? Not anymore. We will protect our land. Self-defense is our right. Self-determination is our right. Nobody is going to do that for us. We Biafrans, we are ready to protect our land. So this topic really is absolutely necessary at this time, Dr. Masanga. We have
Thank
Biafran
you.
country with all the
Awesome.
minerals, but we have our people living in droves, running away from our indigenous nation, running away from our country. I don't know if you wanted to say something.
No, it's okay. Continue, and
Sorry, can I quickly ask our doctor a very important question, please? Because what you're explaining is what we're going through as Africans. I'm from Zimbabwe, and I feel that that's what's happening with our rare minerals. They're being taken, and our communities are not benefiting. You mentioned that there's something that you're doing. Could you give people more information about that? Because as you said, it is up to us as Africans to stop this from continuing. But if we don't know how to go by it, do I need to be a politician to stop all of this from happening in my country? Or can I do it just by being a citizen of my nation and campaign about it so that we can, and then we can have, take things to court? I think a lot of people would like to know more information. If you can share it, because perhaps
Mm,
you don't
mm,
want to share everything here
mm.
on a public platform, but
Yeah,
whatever you can enlighten us on, it would really help us. Thank you so
yeah.
much.
Yeah, thank you so much. On our own part as Biafrans, what we decided to do is to create awareness of the destruction going on in Biafra land. And this step started with our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, whom the Nigerian government went to Kenya to kidnap. And thank God all of us are fully aware, some of us, that our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, recently won the case in Kenya. And Biafrans thank the Kenyan government for standing up to create confidence, not only in Kenyan people, but also in the world as a government, to say that our leader Nnamdi Kanu was wrongfully kidnapped from Kenya by the Nigerian state. That is how evil the Nigerian leaders and the state is. Any country that does any business with Nigeria, I'm telling you, Nigeria is going to dent your image. That country will be polluted because Nigeria bribes their way into everywhere. They bribes their way into the United Nations, into the African Union, into the Commonwealth. So what the leaders of Biafrans and Biafrans have decided to do is to bring what is going on in Biafra land to the world. Nnamdi Kanu made that information known to the world. Simon Ekpa, our Prime Minister, increased the awareness of that to the world. And what we did is to conduct a self-referendum after many years that we requested for referendum because Biafrans want to exit Nigeria because we do not want to live in a country where Tinubu and Christopher Musa, who is the defense chief, reintegrates non-terrorists into the country. You cannot reintegrate non-terrorists and expect your country to remain the same. That is what Biafra will never do. We will never reintegrate non-terrorists into our country. But that is what President Tinubu of Nigeria is doing today as we speak. That is what Christopher Musa, the defense chief, is doing today as we speak. So after many years of requests and the refuse, the Biafrans decided to conduct a self-referendum. That's exactly what we did. So we did the voting both at home and abroad, both online and physical. And then we decided to exit Nigeria. Biafrans all over the world, we assembled in Finland between November 29th and December the 3rd, and we voted to exit Nigeria. So that is what we have been doing. That is what we decided to do. That is the plan, the Biafrans, that is what we believe has worked for us. That is what we know is going to work for us. It could be different from other countries. But with this declaration, with this declaring of our independence, it has given us the legal document which we need to protect our land, the legal documents we need to fight the terrorist state of Nigeria, the legal document we need to fight those that are exploiting the mineral and crude oil that comes from Biafra land. We need the legal backing, and we've gotten that. So every African country, to answer to your question, I think the legal backing that you need to stop this exploitation is one of the major ways to be able to fight and stop this exploitation. And we are ready to present it anywhere in the world right now to ensure that this exploitation stops. That is one of the ways we have tried to go through that. Because when you are talking with somebody that do not understand, when you are discussing with people who criminality is in their blood, when you are going right, they are going left, they will never comprehend. They will never understand. So you have to use every means available to ensure that you stop them. Look at Nnamdi Kanu was exonerated in Kenya last week and compensated. A civil society, a civil mind, a civil country, a civilized country. What were they supposed to do? They're supposed to leave Nnamdi Kanu. But Nigerian government is still holding Nnamdi Kanu hostage as we speak, even though Kenyan government have said that they wrongfully moved Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. Nigerian government, Tinubu, has locked Nnamdi Kanu up as we speak. So when Kenya released Nnamdi Kanu or made him win the case, did Nigerian government let Nnamdi Kanu go? No, they are still holding him now. So that boils down to the mineral. The mineral. That is what Nigerian government. They know that Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Eba comes from the country, from the area where the mineral resources comes from, which is the Biafra land. That is why they are still holding him. They refuse to leave him. So when you are working with the criminally minded leaders, just like we have in Nigerian state, you will understand that it is not just about what they are doing. You have to go beyond to look at why they are doing what they are doing. And the major reason why they are doing what they're doing is because they know that most of the mineral resources, crude oil in Nigeria today, comes from Biafra land. And now that we are independent, we are going to start managing the mineral resources from our land. That is what they are fighting. That is why they don't want Biafra to be free. That is why Nigeria state does not want the United States of Biafra to exit. But is it within their call? No, it is within the right of the people to say, we are tired. We are leaving. We have left. Now we are going to self-defend our country and defend our mineral resources. Thank you so much. Let me just stop here because there's so much to do, Dr. Masan, to say, but let me just briefly stop at this point.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Prime Minister, for briefing the world. These are the type of briefings that come from neutral ground, neutral place, position, because one of the things of tools of lobby is don't ever lobby. You see, Jesus did not begin lobbying from home.